with the season now coming to a close, I thought I would do my regional team of the season and name my 15 who I think have been excellent this season. So, not going to mess around, straight into it. Number 1 is going to be Alec Hepburn. It was a really interesting signing for the Scarlets pre-season and a little bit of a head scratcher, but as the season has progressed, he's got excellent and he's really shown himself to be indisposable to the Scarlets so far this season. Gareth Thomas was an outside bet, but I think Hepburn takes it. Then hooker was Marnus van der Merwe. No surprises there. He's one of the best signings we've seen in recent times for any of the regions, and he was just an absolute beast all season. I think he's earned himself a call up to the South Africa squad now as well, so shows how good he's been playing. Then a tie-head rounding out the Scarlets front row. Can you believe it? It's Henry Thomas. Sort of really good signing. He was sort of in that Wales squad for the World Cup, never really did anything, but now he's come to the Scarlets. He's shown that he's got that maturity and he's really helped shore up that scrum, which was absolutely useless last season, and this season has been a pretty good weapon for the Scarlets. So yeah, all Scarlets front row, who would have said that at the beginning of the year? Then the second rows, I'm going to go with Josh McNally. He's really given that hard edge to the Cardiff side and helped shore up some of those issues where they were letting games go away. With his experience, he was getting the group together, leadership qualities, and really impressive signing. Then his partner in the second row had to go with Teddy Williams. What a season Teddy's had. He's really stepped up his game in all assets, really got himself noticed by Wales now, and I think I can't see him getting dropped out of the Wales squad now for a long time. Then you've got in the back row, I went with Jack Morgan at 6. He obviously was going to be in the back row. I don't need to go on with Jack Morgan. I can't explain how good he is. He's just the best player in Wales at the moment. And then 7 is Josh McLeod. And I think his general performance throughout the season has been superb. His leadership, once he gets on those jackals, he is really difficult to get off. And it's just his vision for him as well, knowing when to go and don't go for every single one, and just his timing of them. And it's earned himself a call to Wales. And I think it just shows, if he was able to stay fit for any period of time, how good he is. And let's hope that he manages to stay fit, because he's been superb this season. And then number 8, this was a difficult one because you had Morgan Morris, maybe even Morgan Morse if he'd have played more games perhaps. But I was really tossing up between Plumtree and Alan Lawrence. I have gone with Alan Lawrence because Plumtree was probably more of a highlight reel, but more towards the end of the season. But Alan Lawrence has been superb for Cardiff all the way through the season. The only time he didn't play was when Faletau came in, and then they were pushing both of them out of the squad for Lawrence at 6. Top tackler in the URC and top 10 for successful carries as well. So there's no debate. He's been absolutely superb all season. Then you go to the backs. Gareth Davies has basically played every minute, more or less, for the Scarlets. They really missed him in the last couple of games, but retiring early from international rugby seems like it's really rejuvenated his body, and he's been superb for the Scarlets all season, playing 80 minutes quite consistently. So really good season for Gareth Davies, almost back to some of his best stuff. Then at outside half, we've got Dan Edwards, who's had a really good season. A little bit died off towards the end of the season, but the Ospreys kind of did as well. So he's going into the summer squad. There's a lot of buzz around him, but he had a really good season. He can be happy with that. Then at 12, I've gone for Kieran Williams. And the reason I've gone for Kieran Williams, I've said a couple of times in the past that I don't think he's an international player, and I still don't. But for the Ospreys, he's superb. You always guess him going forward. He's got a limited skill set, but what he does it amazingly. And his durability is always there for the team. And he's just consistent, always puts in a decent performance for the Ospreys. Some of the other players that were in the talk was like Johnny Williams, Ben Thomas. But I think just consistently, week in, week out, Kieran Williams has been better. Then at 13, I've gone for Max Page. I always say I think he's a winger, but I had to put him in the centre because I couldn't fit him on the wing. I think he just deserves it with his breakthrough onto the season and what he's shown when he's had opportunities, and has played a lot of 13, so I'm letting myself off with that one. And then the back 3, I've gone with Jack Welsh at fullback. He's been a real sort of find for the Ospreys. Obviously, he's been there a long time, but this season he's really kicked on with his ability. I think just letting him play fullback all the time, I think that's his position. When you put him at 10, I think maybe there's too much going on, and when he plays fullback, he gets to just have a little bit more time on the ball. Not the biggest, but seems to just break loads of tackles, and he's completely pushed Max Nagy out of the team. So really impressive season for him. On the other wing, then, I've gone for Blair Murray. Obviously, he had to be in this team because he's had a really good season. Signed this year and not looked back, and been playing for Wales and been really good, probably, and was in the discussion for playing for the Lions, to be fair. So really good season for Blair Murray. And then my final player is Harry Millard, joint top try scorer. I was tossing up with Gabe Hamer-Webb or Tom Rogers, but Millard, you know, top try scorer of the league. Did play a couple of games at centre as well, so showed his versatility when Cardiff needed him, but really consistent all the way through, really good at slipping out of tackles, and just had a really good season for a player who a couple of years ago was struggling for a contract, and now he's top try scorer of the URC. Really impressive. I have to apologise to the Dragons fans, I haven't picked any of their players, but Rod Williams was super close at 9, and to be honest, that was about it, because everywhere else the players were stacked, and it's been a horrible season for the Dragons. But that's just my team. Let me know what you think. Head over to dragonsports.co.uk and I will catch you on the next one.